Fred just called me up after the holidays
Fred
were
is her
over.
husband.
Fred
at the
was
time.
her husband at the time.
Okay.
Exactly. He's my husband.
I know
what
he
are you
is
talking
now.
about?
I know he is now.
Beneath the bright lights and glitter of country music, some of its biggest female stars have lived even wilder lives when the cameras are off. From shocking romances to rumors that shook the headlines, we're uncovering the secret, scandal-filled love lives of 15 female country stars, women whose shocking affairs left fans stunned and the world talking. Number 1, Tanya Tucker.
Thing was a problem for us was the jealousy thing. He didn't trust me as much as he could have. He should have.
Tanya Tucker, born October 10th, 1958 in Seminole, Texas, was a country music prodigy who rose to fame at just 13 with her hit Delta Dawn. Unlike many of her peers, Tanya never married, but her love life was as bold and public as her music. Known for her rebellious spirit and fearless attitude, she became a figure who defied expectations in an industry that often tried to define women by rules they didn't create. Tanya's high-profile romance with country legend Glen Campbell captivated fans in the early 1980s. Their stormy relationship even led to a brief engagement, though the marriage never happened. Over the years, Tanya was romantically linked to Merle Haggard, Don Johnson, and Andy Gibb, each connection adding to her bad girl reputation. Despite the headlines, Tanya remained unapologetically herself, refusing to let love or society box her in. Her relationships also brought family into the picture. In the late 80s and early 90s, she dated actor Ben Reed, with whom she had 2 children, Presley and Grayson. Later, she was engaged to producer Jerry Lester, who fathered her daughter Layla, though the couple called off their wedding just days before the ceremony. Tanya's personal life, full of passionate connections and heartbreak, often mirrored the themes in her songs: love, independence, survival, and resilience. Despite her tumultuous romances, Tanya's music career never faltered. She released dozens of top 10 singles, including Would You Lay With Me in a Field of Stone, Texas When I Die, and Two Sparrows in a Hurricane. Over decades, she earned multiple CMA and ACM awards, and in 2020, she finally won her first Grammys for While I'm Livin' and the song Bring My Flowers Now. Her ability to channel her life experiences into her music gave her a raw authenticity that resonated deeply with fans. In recent times, Tanya enjoys a long-term relationship with singer Craig Dillingham, someone she first met when they were teenagers. Their on-again, off-again romance has matured alongside her career, proving that even the wildest hearts can find a lasting connection. Number 2, LeAnn Rimes.
Anything was actually while things were starting to happen, that Eddie and I were seeing each other, but it was written about a friend of mine, but I think I did.
LeAnn Rimes isn't just a country music legend, she's a story the tabloids couldn't get enough of. At just 13, she burst onto the music scene with her unforgettable voice. Her debut single, Blue, became a massive hit, and her first album went 6 times platinum. By 1997, she had crossed into pop with How Do I Live, one of the best-selling singles of the decade. Over 48 million records later, LeAnn proved she was more than just a star. But while her career soared, her love life kept the world talking. In 2002, she married dancer Dean Sharamet, but their marriage would end in 2010 after one of the most talked about scandals in Hollywood. LeAnn's affair with actor Eddie Cibrian, who was married at the time, shocked fans and ignited a public feud with his ex-wife, Brandi Glanville. Tabloids painted her as a homewrecker, and the drama seemed unstoppable. Yet LeAnn and Eddie's love survived the storm. In April 2011, they married in a private ceremony, blending their families and facing the world together. The public scrutiny didn't stop them, proving that even amid chaos, love can endure. From teen country star to pop icon, from headline-making romances to surviving the harsh glare of public judgment, LeAnn lives boldly and reminds everyone that in the spotlight, the story is never just about the music. Number 3, Wanda Jackson. Wanda Jackson is a true pioneer, the queen of rockabilly, and one of the first women to make a name in both rock and country music. Born in the 30s, she broke barriers in the 50s, recording hit singles that cemented her as a rock and roll icon. But behind the music, her life had romance, heartbreak, and enduring love. In 1955, while touring with Elvis Presley, Wanda's friendship with the king of rock and roll turned into a secret romance. Elvis even gave her a small diamond ring, which she wore on a necklace, a symbol of their brief but unforgettable love. Their affair ended as Elvis skyrocketed to superstardom and Colonel Tom Parker took control of his career, leaving Wanda with memories and a song, "I Wore Elvis's Ring," that captured the magic of that time. Love came again when fate introduced her to Wendell Goodman. Wanda had known him through her friend Norma Jean, and after Norma Jean moved on, Wanda and Wendell found each other. They married in 1961, and Wendell left his IBM career to manage Wanda full-time. Together, they navigated the highs and lows of fame, raised 2 children, and embraced Christianity, which Wanda credits with saving their marriage. From touring with Elvis as a teen to becoming a music legend with a lifelong partner by her side, Wanda proves that even in the spotlight, love, heartbreak, and triumph can create a story that fans will never forget. Number 4. Jessi Colter.
With Waylon pacing the floor, muttering about things only he could see. To the public, he was still the tough outlaw.
Jessi Colter, a voice that defined a generation of country music, is a woman whose life has been as captivating as her songs. Born Miriam Johnson, Jessi's journey began long before fame. In the early 1960s, she married guitarist Duane Eddy in Las Vegas. Together, they toured and created music, with Miriam writing songs under the name Miriam Eddy. But their marriage didn't last. Soon, they separated, and she returned to Arizona, ready to face a new chapter. It was in that same year that she met Waylon Jennings, a meeting that would change both their lives forever. By 1969, they were married, and Miriam transformed into Jessi Colter, adopting a stage name inspired by a story her father had told her about an accomplice of Jesse James. Their love was legendary, a partnership that would endure both the highs and lows of life, lasting until Waylon died in 2002. Together, they became a powerhouse in the outlaw country movement of the 70s, working on music, touring, and sharing the stage in a bond that was as creative as it was passionate. Decades later, love found her again. In 2023, Jessi married Arlen Brower, a former heavy equipment contractor and horse breeder in Rio Verde, Arizona, on a horse therapy ranch, a serene and heartfelt new beginning after years in the spotlight. From the stages of Nashville to intimate ranch weddings, Jessi Colter's life has been one of passion, resilience, and reinvention. She is a woman who broke barriers, created timeless music, and lived a life full of love, loss, and unforgettable stories. Number 5. Linda Ronstadt.
Living the wild life at the height of your career. Was there a
I
time?
didn't live a very wild life. What's going on around me, but I wasn't.
Linda Ronstadt, one of the most successful voices in folk and country rock, never walked down the aisle, but her love life was anything but quiet. Born with a talent that would make her a legend, she captured hearts not only with her powerful songs, but also with her high-profile romances that often made headlines. In the early 1970s, Linda was romantically linked to musician J.D. Souther, a talented songwriter who helped shape her albums and even played a role in forming the Eagles. Their connection was as much musical as it was personal, sparking creativity and collaboration that fans still celebrate today. By the late 70s, her life took another dramatic turn when she began dating Jerry Brown, then the governor of California. Their relationship became public in a big way, landing them on the cover of Newsweek and other major magazines. Though intense and highly visible, Linda and Jerry realized they were not meant for the same path, and their romance quietly ended. Still, the 80s brought new twists. Linda briefly dated the young comedian and actor Jim Carrey in 1983, a short-lived fling that added another surprising chapter to her personal story. That same year, she became engaged to George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars. Their 5-year engagement captured public fascination, but ultimately ended without marriage, leaving fans to wonder what might have been. Other notable relationships included the actor and director Albert Brooks and producer John Boylan, who played both professional and personal roles in her life. Through it all, Linda chose to remain unmarried, explaining that she had no talent for it and preferred not to compromise her freedom. Instead, she built a family in her own way, adopting 2 children, Mary in 1990 and Carlos in 1994, giving them a loving home while continuing to dominate the music world. Ronstadt's career was legendary. She released 24 studio albums, 15 compilations, and charted 38 singles on the Billboard Hot 100, including 10 top 10 hits and the #1 smash, You're No Good. Her duets, like Somewhere Out There with James Ingram and Don't Know Much with Aaron Neville, also earned international acclaim. Even as her voice began to fade in the 2000s, leading to her retirement in 2011 due to a degenerative condition, Linda Ronstadt's story remained one of independence, passion, and artistry. A woman who loved freely, lived publicly, and sang with unmatched power, she left a legacy that continues to inspire. Number 6, Jana Kramer.
Just having to see all that, yeah, it's not easy, you know. Even with all the work done, it's still our past, and our past holds a lot in our bodies still, right?
Jana Kramer, known to many as Alex Dupre from One Tree Hill, has lived a life as dramatic off-screen as on. Her journey from television actress to country music star saw her release 2 albums, producing hits like Why Ya Wanna and I Got the Boy. But while her career soared, her personal life often mirrored the heartbreak and resilience she sang about. At just 20, Jana married Michael Gambino. What should have been a young love story turned dark, as his violent temper led to abuse so severe that he was later convicted for nearly causing death. Jana survived, escaping with her life, but the trauma left deep scars that would follow her for years. A second marriage to actor Jonathan Chaich lasted only a month, ending quickly and publicly, adding tabloid headlines to her growing history of personal trials. Shortly after, she found a spark with country singer Brantley Gilbert. Their whirlwind romance ended just as fast as it began, leaving Jana to navigate heartbreak yet again. Soon, Jana married NFL player Mike Cosson, a union that seemed promising but was fraught with betrayal. His struggles with infidelity and intimate addiction turned their marriage into a public saga of separation, reconciliation, and pain. They shared 2 children, Jolie Ray and Jace Joseph, but ultimately divorced, closing one of the most turbulent chapters of her life. Amid the heartbreak, brief relationships with high-profile figures like Jay Cutler and Ian Shinelli kept Jana's personal life in the public eye, but stability remained elusive. Yet through it all, she continued to work on her music, channeling her experiences into songs that were raw, emotional, and relatable. Finally, in 2024, Jana found love and peace with former soccer player Alan Russell. The couple, who first met in 2022, welcomed their son Roman James in November 2023 and married the following July in a quiet, heartfelt ceremony. For Jana, this union symbolized more than love. It was a victory over the struggles and betrayals that had marked her past. Number 7, Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, the legendary coal miner's daughter, lived a life as raw and heartfelt as the songs that made her a country music icon. Born Loretta Webb, she married Oliver Doolittle Lynn at just 15, stepping into a marriage that would define her personal and professional life for decades. Their union, spanning 48 years until he died in 1996, was far from easy. Oliver's infidelity and drinking cast long shadows over their life together, yet Loretta remained steadfast, publicly admitting he was the only man she ever truly loved. Quiet rumors whispered of other companions during the toughest years, but Loretta never confirmed them, choosing instead to channel her pain and passion into her music. Her songs often reflected the trials of her marriage, love, betrayal, endurance, and resilience. Hits like Fist City, Don't Come Home a-Drinkin', With Lovin' on Your Mind, and You Ain't Woman Enough gave a voice to women navigating similar struggles, combining blunt honesty with strength and humor. Songs like Coal Miner's Daughter and Blue Kentucky Girl told stories of her upbringing, her family, and the working-class hardships she overcame, cementing her legacy as a storyteller with unmatched authenticity. Beyond her marriage, Loretta's life was marked by perseverance. She released multiple gold albums, maintained a 6-decade-long career, and inspired countless artists. Even late in life, Loretta continued to face challenges with the same resilience that defined her music. After suffering a stroke and breaking her hip in 2018, she retired from touring, closing a chapter on a career that had spanned more than half a century. Number 8, Reba McEntire.
We listened to it, and I fell in love with it because of my rodeo background.
Reba McEntire, born March 28, 1955, in McAlester, Oklahoma, rose from the rodeo and ranching life of her childhood to become the undisputed queen of country. Her voice, talent, and charisma carried her to staggering heights. Over 30 studio albums, more than 70 million records sold worldwide, and over 100 singles on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart, 25 of which reached number 1. Beyond music, Reba became a household name through her hit sitcom, Reba, Broadway performances, and her own business ventures, including a restaurant and clothing line. Yet while Reba's career soared, her personal life often became the subject of as much attention as her albums. At 21, she married steer wrestling champion Charlie Battles, a union that lasted 11 years. Though marriage ended, Reba's heart would not rest there. Soon, she married her manager, Narvel Blackstock. The marriage spanned 26 years, during which she became a stepmother to his 3 children and had a son, Shelby, of her own. Despite the length of their relationship, the couple separated, finalizing a divorce that left Reba once again navigating life as a single woman in the public eye. Following her divorce, tabloids speculated endlessly about Reba's romantic life. From photographer Anthony Skeeter Lasuso to fleeting associations with other men in the entertainment world, rumors followed her like a shadow. Reba rarely addressed them directly, letting her career, charm, and presence speak louder than gossip. Her enduring beauty, talent, and fiery personality made her an icon, a woman whose personal and professional lives were equally captivating to the public. Love, however, found her once more in a story decades in the making. Reba first met actor Rex Linn while filming The Gambler Returns, The Luck of the Draw in 1991, but their connection lay dormant for years. Nearly 30 years later, the pair reconnected during the pandemic, bonding over time on the set of Young Sheldon and rekindling a long-lost chemistry. They began dating officially in June 2020, and after 5 years together, the couple announced their engagement on the red carpet at the 77th Primetime Emmy Awards. Reba and Rex have also worked together professionally, including playing husband and wife on Big Sky and co-starring in Happy's Place, blending love and art in a storybook twist of fate. Number 9, Dolly Parton.
Do different things, and it's exciting, when we are together. So.
Dolly Parton, the queen of country, built her empire on talent, rhinestones, and an unshakable resilience. Yet behind the glittering stage lights and global fame, her love life remained one of the most private and mysterious aspects of her life. Born and raised in Sevier County, Tennessee, Dolly arrived in Nashville immediately after graduating high school, determined to turn her songwriting and singing dreams into reality. It was on that very day, while taking a break from chores at the laundromat, that she met Carl Thomas Dean. The encounter was unassuming. Carl noticed her sunburn risk and struck up a conversation. 2 years later, they married in Ringgold, Georgia, beginning a union that would span nearly 6 decades. Carl Dean was the perfect partner for Dolly's extraordinary life. Supportive, private, and unbothered by the glare of fame that followed his wife everywhere. Their marriage, often described by Dolly as an open marriage, allowed room for flirtation and fun without crossing boundaries. This unusual arrangement, coupled with Carl's steadfast loyalty and discretion, became the foundation of a relationship that defied the tabloid-fueled chaos so common in the country music world. Despite their privacy, Dolly's charm, vivacious personality, and close working relationships often sparked rumors. Her chemistry with Porter Wagoner in the 70s led to whispers of romance, and the iconic duet with Kenny Rogers, Islands in the Stream, only intensified speculation. Dolly later admitted to an emotional affair with an unnamed man, a relationship so consuming it drove her to the edge of despair. Yet she pulled herself back, preserving her marriage and demonstrating her remarkable resilience. While her personal life remained largely shielded, Dolly's career flourished. She released her debut album, Hello, I'm Dolly, in 1967, launching a career that would span 6 decades and 50 studio albums. Hits like Jolene, 9 to 5, and I Will Always Love You cemented her as a legend. She won 11 Grammy Awards, 3 Emmys, and received nominations for 2 Academy Awards, 6 Golden Globes, and a Tony Award. Her music often reflected her experiences and emotions, blending vulnerability, humor, and strength in a way that resonated worldwide. Number 10, Tammy Wynette. Tammy Wynette, born Virginia Wynette Pugh, wasn't just a country singer. She was the first lady of country music, a woman whose life off stage was just as dramatic as the songs that made her a legend. At only 17, she married Upal Bird, a man older and unsupportive of her dreams. Life with him was tough, full of struggles and financial worries, and it pushed Tammy to Nashville in 1966, where her life and love took a sharp turn. Soon, she married songwriter Don Chappell. That marriage was short-lived, but it set the stage for the romance that would define her life and career, George Jones. When Tammy and George tied the knot, the country world watched in awe. They became known as the king and queen of country music, and their duets reflected a love as fiery as it was turbulent. Hits like Golden Ring and We're Gonna Hold On mirrored the highs and lows of their marriage, from passionate love to explosive fights. George's battles with alcohol and Tammy's own fierce spirit made for a volatile mix. By 1975, the couple divorced, But even after their separation, they returned to the studio together, proving that their musical chemistry could never be fully broken. Tammy's romantic life didn't calm down after George. Soon, she shocked fans by marrying businessman Michael Tomlin, but the union lasted just 6 weeks. That same year, she met George Ritchie, her manager and longtime friend, whom she married. Unlike her previous marriages, this one endured until she died in 1990, though whispers of affairs and secret romances followed her throughout her life, adding intrigue to the legend. Beyond her love life, Tammy Wynette's music made history. She had 20 #1 hits on the US country charts, but it was Stand By Your Man that cemented her place in the world's imagination. A song celebrated and criticized, yet undeniably powerful. Her ballads of heartbreak, love, and loyalty often mirrored her own life, making fans feel every heartbreak, every fight, every moment of longing. Number 11, Wynonna Judd.
Though it's not physical death, it's the end. And we don't.
Wynonna Judd is a country music legend, a powerhouse of emotion, and a woman whose life has been as dramatic as her songs. Born Christina Claire Simonella on May 30th, 1964, Wynonna's rise to fame was meteoric. With her mother, Naomi, she formed the iconic duo The Judds in the 80s, releasing 7 albums and 26 singles, with 14 of them climbing all the way to #1. Their harmonies captured hearts, but it was Wynonna's solo career that revealed just how unstoppable she truly was. Her first solo singles, She Is His Only Need, I Saw the Light, and No One Else on Earth, all topped the charts. And by 1966, Be Loved by You became yet another #1 hit. Wynonna was unstoppable on stage, but behind the spotlight, her love life was a whirlwind. Her first marriage to businessman Arch Kelly III brought 2 children, but the marriage ended in heartbreak and divorce. Later, she married her former bodyguard, D.R. Roach, a relationship that ended abruptly in scandal when Roach was arrested for assault, forcing Wynonna to file for divorce just days later. Rumors swirled, whispers followed her, but Wynonna carried on, her life as fiery as her voice. Through heartbreak and headlines, she found love again, this time with Scott Cactus Moser, the drummer of Highway 101. Their love story was decades in the making, surviving trials that would crush many, a devastating motorcycle accident, Cactus's leg amputation, and the pressures of fame. In 2012, they married in Tennessee, a love tested by fire but standing strong. Despite the speculation about her love life, she remains unforgettable. Talent, passion, and scandal seem woven into her very being, a true country star whose story is as compelling off stage as it is on. Number 12, Trisha Yearwood. Trisha Yearwood is a name that shines bright in country music. She first captured hearts in 1991 with her debut single, She's in Love with the Boy, which shot straight to #1 on the Billboard country charts. Her self-titled album followed, selling over 2 million copies and proving that Trisha was here to stay. The 1990s were her golden era, filled with hits like The Woman Before Me, Walk Away Joe, and the song Remembers When. She wasn't just a singer, she was a storyteller, giving life to songs that resonated with fans across the country. But off the stage, Trisha's love life was just as full as her career. She first married Christopher Latham in 1987, but their marriage didn't last long. Later, she found love with Robert Reynolds, the bassist for the Mavericks, and they lived together in a warm log cabin in Tennessee. That marriage lasted 5 years, and when it ended, Trisha was single again, but still strong and unbroken. Through all this, one friendship quietly simmered, her bond with country superstar Garth Brooks. When they first met, they were both married at the time. Still, their connection never faded. After their divorces, that friendship turned into something more. Love, it seems, had been waiting all along. In 2005, Garth proposed on stage in front of 7,000 fans in Bakersfield, California. Later that year, they married in an intimate ceremony at their Oklahoma home, with Garth's 3 children part of the celebration. Trisha Yearwood's life reads like a country song itself, full of soaring highs, heartbreak, and the twists of love that keep fans captivated. From chart-topping hits to enduring romance with one of country music's biggest stars, Trisha proved that life isn't just about the music, it's about passion, resilience, and finding the love you're meant for, even after heartbreak. Number 13, Shania Twain. Shania Twain isn't just a name, she's a legend. With over 100 million records sold, she is the best-selling female artist in country music history and rightfully earned the title Queen of Country Pop. Born in Timmins, Ontario, Shania showed a gift for singing and songwriting from a young age. Her first album in 1993 didn't make waves, but everything changed when she teamed up with producer and future husband Robert "Mutt" Lang. Their collaboration on The Woman in Me skyrocketed her to fame. The album sold over 20 million copies and produced hits like Any Man of Mine, earning Shania her first Grammy. Then came Come On Over, a record-breaking masterpiece that sold over 40 million copies worldwide, making it the best-selling album by a female solo artist ever. Shania had conquered the world of country pop, but behind the glitz and glamour, betrayal hit hard. In 2008, Shania discovered that Mutt had been unfaithful to with her closest friend, Marie-Anne Thiebaud. The double betrayal shattered her, leaving her voiceless and heartbroken. Yet from that devastation, she found renewal. She connected with Frédéric Thiebaud, Marie-Anne's ex-husband, and their friendship slowly blossomed into love. They married in 2011, and he helped her reclaim confidence, trust, and joy. Number 14, Crystal Gayle. Crystal Gayle is a woman whose glamorous image kept fans and tabloids whispering. Born in 1951 in Kentucky, she carved her own path apart from her sister Loretta Lynn with a smooth, pop-friendly sound. Her silky voice and signature floor-length hair made her irresistible both on and off stage. Though she married Bill Gatzimos in 1971 and their marriage has remained strong, whispers about her love life never stopped. Collaborations with male stars, late-night studio sessions, and her dazzling presence fueled endless speculation. Fans couldn't help but wonder about secret romances behind the scenes, and Crystal's aura only made the rumors wilder. From her rise to fame in the late 70s with hits like Don't It Make My Brown Eyes Blue to the glittering social circles of Nashville, Crystal Gayle's story is one of talent, charm, and love, both real and rumored, that keeps the world intrigued even decades later. Number 15, Lorrie Morgan. Lorrie Morgan, daughter of Grand Ole Opry legend George Morgan, inherited not only her father's stage presence, but also a life filled with passionate and often turbulent love. She stepped into the music world at just 13 and charted her first single in 1979, eventually becoming one of country music's brightest stars. But behind the spotlight, her personal life was a roller coaster of love, heartbreak, and loss. At just 20, Lorrie married Ron Gaddis and welcomed her first daughter, Morgan Anastasia. Young, touring, and juggling motherhood, the pressures soon tore the marriage apart. Soon, she found a deeper connection with fellow country singer Keith Whitley. Their love was fiery and artistic, but tragedy struck when Keith died from alcohol poisoning, leaving Lorrie widowed and raising their son, Jessi, alone. In search of love and stability, she married Brad Thompson, a bus driver for Clint Black, but the spark was gone, and the marriage quietly ended. Her romantic life continued to make headlines, including a surprising relationship with U.S. Senator Fred Thompson in the mid-90s, which captivated fans but never led to marriage. Romance called again when she wed musician John Randall, yet that marriage dissolved after just 3 years. Then came Sammy Kershaw, another country star whose passionate, often combative relationship with Lorrie became the stuff of legend. Their marriage lasted 6 years, filled with fire, music, and drama. Seeking peace, she married businessman Randy White. For the first time in decades, Lorrie seemed to find stability, sharing more than a decade with him until his passing in 2025. Alongside these high-profile marriages, whispers of brief flings and private romances always lingered, keeping her personal life as dramatic as the songs she sang. Through it all, Lorrie channeled her experiences into music that resonated with fans, albums that went platinum, and a career that spanned decades. Her memoir, Forever Yours Faithfully, shares the heartbreak, love, and resilience behind the public image, revealing a woman whose life offstage mirrored the intense, emotional ballads that made her a star. Which of these stars left you completely stunned? Drop your reactions in the comments below. We want to hear your thoughts.